Hey guys, it's Caleb over at White Metal Games again. Got a couple projects for you that I'm working on right now for a couple clients. This first one is the client requested a hive tyrant, but he wanted it more like a spider tyrant. So we talked about it, made a couple decisions, and this is what we came up with. The basic torso you're seeing there is a Carnifex torso. On this torso, a lot of green stuff work. This middle piece actually comes from a Starship Trooper Arachnid Blister Blaster, which is a dual bug that I use in a lot of conversion work. I gave it a larger thorax, and we wanted to give it some sort of stinger, not unlike the spider from Lord of the Rings, whose name escapes me at this moment in time. We wanted to give it 8 legs instead of 6, or 8 limbs. So right here you have 6 limbs, also from the Starship Trooper line, and these 2 empty ball joints on either side of the torso will actually end up being for a venom cannon the client requested, which I haven't mounted yet because I still have that on order. Let's see other stuff. The Hive Tyrant, we used basically a Carnifex head. I took the old style ballistic skill enhancing biomorph and cut the antenna off. I wanted to give it all the eyes I could, and these 2 mandibles, I guess, are from the same kit as the Arachnid Blister Blaster bugs. The torso has been inverted to sort of give it a different, more alien look. It's a fairly hefty piece. It's mounted on a 60mm base, but I wanted to put it on a plinth too, just in case the client wanted it for display. As you can see, it's just a very simple textured base using 2-part epoxy magic sculpt, and this is actually from a D&D miniature line where there's a spider web. I wanted some sort of webbing in there. The base, as you can see, fits down inside of here very easily, just nestles down, and we wanted to make it kind of a scenic base with some narrative. So there's a marine on the base here that's got some web sort of strung across him. In the game, the client plans on counting him as a Hive Tyrant with Venom Cannon and Lash Whip Bone Sword. The Lash Whip being the webbing, and the Bone Sword being his stinger, which will be a bone stinger, basically. We think it works pretty well. I like it. There's a lot of heft to the model. As you can see, it looms over the other model. Even if you take away the plinth, you've still got a very sizable model who's going to really look nice on the table once he gets all primed up. I particularly like the thorax, which was sculpted specifically for the project. I think it gives a nice look to the model, which would otherwise, sort of mingle into that in-between of Tyranids. But I think this guy, once he's painted up, maybe with a nice black color scheme and some white or red markings, he's really going to fill that spider look we were going for. The other project I have to show you tonight, oh, and this little guy, I just keep him around for base comparison, but the other project I have to show you tonight is a Thunderwolf. The client requested specifically a Thunderwolf that was a little bit smaller than the Canis Wolfborn Wolf. So simply for size comparison, I've got the Canis model here. As you can see, both are mounted on a 60mm base. The Canis model has a scenic base. This one's just a very basic base. This particular model is a wolf that I picked up on eBay. You can buy it. It's from a Chinese company that sells them for about $6 or $7. To Cyberwolf it up, I modified it with some various bits. The chin piece there is from an orc. So from an orc sprue in 40K, it's like a tank. No, it's from an ogre man-eater sprue or something like that. And the leg is from a Starship or a Star Wars junk golem, which I think works really well for just this sort of cybernetic stuff. The tail, which I think looks kind of like a cybernetic sort of limb or a cybernetic sort of tail, it's actually a Tyranid Trigon Prime tail. The legs are from an Empire mechanical engine seer on mechanical steed from the Warhammer Fantasy line. And we put some cables on here. It also has a cybernetic eye, which isn't showing up perfectly under this light, but overall I think it's a pretty decent conversion. This one we did for about 20 bucks, so it's not bad at all. Something nice and simple. I think it doesn't, overcrowd the other Thunderwolf. I think that it works as a nice sort of base model just to sort of accompany him into battle. that I converted recently. I bought a couple of these McFarlane Water Dragons for another project, I needed some other bits from them. And I like to use whatever I've got in my bits box, try to get it out there. And no one's really building Harpies right now, so I figured I'd put a couple of these up on eBay, see how they do. The Harpy model pictured in the book, you know, you can do something very simple with just a Carnifex kit if you want to, but I like to go a little more extravagant when I can. So the base model here is built off a McFarlane Dragon. I wanted to stick with the 6-limb Tyranid, so I gave it these 2 massive wings, which just come off the normal McFarlane Dragon kit. I add on the head from a Carnifex kit and mold it on there. I gave this one a couple of Venom Cannons and a couple of Scything Talons. Even though it's not really armor Scything Talons, I wanted to give something to fill out the model and bulk it out. It comes with this pole, this metal dowel, which I probably should not have primed, but I was in a hurry and it was late and I was a little tired, so people just have to paint over that when they paint it. It does come with this scenic base that mounts the pole very nicely, and I'm also going to include a plinth with it, a small plinth that they can use as a base to sort of give it a nice sense of measuring and range and stuff. Trying to give you a view of the tail if I can. As you can see, it's got a real nice looking long tail. I love the scales. I love the all of the texture on it, and it really makes for a nice big bulky model. As you can see, it kind of towers over the Marine there, looking like it's about to swoop down on him like some sort of dragon from Legend or something. So a lot of fun to build. I built a couple of these, so if you're interested, you'll see these on eBay in the next couple of weeks. They'll probably go for probably about $40 or so. So if you've got the extra change, it's a great time. If you don't like this model, but you have something in mind you want to do, either for Tyranid line or any other line, including Warhammer Fantasy or Warhammer 40K or whatever else you've got in mind as a miniature hobbyist, send us an email. You can reach me at caleb@whitemetalgames.com. I love to speak with new clients, even about prospective orders, even if this is something you're thinking about in the future and maybe not necessarily now, but a few months down the road from now. Just give me a holler. Let me know what you're interested in doing. I can provide you with a quote. I have very competitive pricing. We're also available to do painting. If you have some stuff you want painted in a hurry, I can send you pictures of painted models I've done for other clients. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. Hope this inspired you to create your own monstrosities.